Hey guys, Sir Senpai Charming here with the Renekton guide and commentary for you. And today I'll be showcasing what a lane bully and what a great early game aggressor Renekton can really be. Now, Renekton has one of the strongest early games of any top laner in my opinion, because of his Q, which is so good to bully with, so good. And it also gives you sustain. It's called Call the Meek, and he swings around, he does like a giant AoE effect around him, and he deals like X amount of damage to things around him, and he gains 5% of damage dealt as health. And if it's champion, it's 20%. And if he has Fury, which is he doesn't even use Force, he's fully cooldown based. Fury just adds extra things to his abilities. So it's like they took mana from a champion and put something that made his ability stronger. It's awesome. It's awesome. And it makes it to where his he heals a percentage more. Like, he gets more health if he has Fury from it, like a lot more. He can gain up to triple what he'd normally gain. And then he also has Ruthless Predator, which it does 100 like X amount of damage and stuns for 0.715 seconds. And in each hit, and it basically hits twice, so it's like he auto attacks twice. And what it does, it applies on hit effects each time. And keep in mind, it also resets your auto attack animation, so it's really good to be like auto attack W, Q, you know what I mean? And then with Fury, it deals more damage and stuns for 1.5 seconds and does way more damage. And then there's his E, Slice and Dice. Now, what Slice and Dice is it's a dash. And if you hit something, you can dash again. It's really, really good. That's also one of the reasons I think he's one of the best top laners in the game. Is because he has an escape like that. That's really good. And his ult, it's Dominus. He gains 200 health. Well, of course, this is only rank 1. And his model gets bigger. And he gains Fury every second, and he deals damage to anything around him. For 15 seconds. And it's really good because when you're getting ganked, oh man, is it a gank turner. It is so good. And also, to take note, I noticed the Riven did not run Flash here, so I'm really trying to abuse that, trying to get her low, because I know I can all in her, and she can't get out of it, right? But she has Ignite, which is rough, and I'm just like, see ya, Riven. See ya, Riven. And also, I think a lot of people who play top lane that they don't abuse enough is they don't abuse the fact that auto attacks are so good to just get them. Now, this is me being a little cocky, I think. I'm staying lane still. I didn't respect her, you know what I mean? It was bad. Always show your opponent's respect, because that can happen. As you all just saw, I just died. Like, that's not what you want to have happen at all. And let's just go. So basically what happened is she TP'd in, and I didn't respect it, so I died. It was pretty much as simple as that. You know what I mean? And it's always good to respect your opponents. But I knew, even though she did that, I was also running teleport, so I knew I could just TP back in lane and go back to being a lane bully. Especially if you compare her items, right? Because I killed her, didn't back, kept CSing, then I got killed and was forced to go back. So at this point, I am a Doran's Blade up on her. See, she tries to come and trade with me, so I Ruthless Predator Q her. And then Warwick tries to come gank. Nothing happens here. But I think this really showcases what a monster Renekton really is. Like, look at that. I got the Fury, so I just queued all those minions and got all that health back. And sure I have some lifesteal, but that is so much sustain for a top laner with so much damage. And even if he does poorly, he has a lot of utility. And actually, so I also note that Shen has no flash, and he just taunted, so I'm like, okay, I'm not worried about him, you know? Like, that's not a big deal. And so I'm gonna continue trying to bully Riven and be super aggressive in lane. This is the style that I play, and I think it really works really good. Don't get me wrong, I'm no diamond player. I'm a mere gold 4. I'm gold 3 quite often, but I've been having some play issues and getting back gold 3 for some reason. I'll have to fix those issues at some point. And then Riven tries to fight me again, and I'm just like, okay. You want to fight? And now, see, that fight really showcased why his E is so good. Because Riven, she tried dashing away. And what did I do? I dashed at her and just killed her. Now I'm going to go back here. And this is the thing that I think more people should do. Now, a lot of people try to decide whether or not to build damage or tankiness when they're ahead, right? Well, I like to opt for damage. Because, well, that's my style. I really like being damagey. And the argument is that tank transitions better, maybe, into the mid game because especially if your team's doing poorly, you still like well, basically, if you build tank, you're useful no matter what. If you build damage, you have to keep doing well. And and basically what it is that there is a big difference between the damage build and the tanky build because he gets such a large... Renekton scales poorly with items, basically. He's really strong without items, but he's also really good with some attack damage because his scaling isn't too horrible. I said this makes sense. Oops. But I just know that I have so much damage on her right now. Like I have 2 Doran's blades and a pickaxe, and she has 1 Doran's blade and a what is that? A Vamp Scepter, sorry. And I know she has no pot, so I'm gonna keep trying to go at her like, what are you trying to do? What are you trying to do? And then Shin comes and ganks me, and I'm like, well, what do I do here? I noticed that when I think does so much damage, I'm like, okay. So I actually ran away like that to bait this. So I just ulted, kill the Riven, and then I kill the Shin. And that shows because what I was saying about his ultimate earlier. It really turns the tide of a gank. That 200 health that I got that I got to play with made it so that I could bait that gank really easily. And this is me being greedy because I hate not getting a CS, so just get it and I dip out. So now I've killed Riven, I killed Shin, and I got a lot of CS. Like I am 32 CS up on Riven. So the damage build had worked out because I kept doing well. And so I'm going to go back, and I believe, yeah, I built Tiamat here. Now, Tiamat and Ravenous Hydra are so good on Renekton because it lets you shove the lane incredibly fast. Incredibly fast. And, also, something you guys should always remember, always buy wards and pots. Never forget, every back buy wards and pots. They are so useful. Oh, I missed so much CS, so that was gross. But, like, there are so many good things that a ward and some pots can do. Like, okay, so sure, pots seem like, oh yeah, but I already have all the sustain, like the Ravenous regeneration and my Fury with my Q. Like, why do I need pots? Well, pots make it so you can be so aggressive and you can trade in lane profitably. And wards make it so that you don't get ganked when you're trying to play aggressive. Or if you're just, you know, not wanting to get ganked or dove, or you want to help out a teammate. Like, you don't necessarily have to ward for yourself. You can always ward for your mid laner. You can always ward for your jungler. You can ward your opponent's jungle. So that you can go invade on them, where your jungler knows where they are, and your teammate knows where the jungler is. And this is another reason why I think you should always run Flash. Because I am Renekton, and I die to minions. And, so, that was me being cocky, but I knew that I'm ahead of Riven very much. Sure, I did give her shutdown gold. And, but the tower was pushed, so I got to deny her all that CS. And also, I still got CS. And now this is arguably a bad play, is me TPing back in the lane. But I'm just trying to just make this advantage as large as possible and keep the Riven out of the game. That is my game plan right now, is keep this Riven completely useless. Like, I am going to control this game. That is my goal right now. Now, sure, you could say, but why would you tell her we're trying to control the game? Well, we're trying to control the game by making sure Riven is useless, and we have a very strong top laner, they don't. And here, TF ults, and I'm kind of nervous. I noticed he died. So I'm like, oh, he must have, you know, he must be trying to ult out somewhere, maybe. You know what I mean? So I'm like, okay. So now I don't worry about TF. I'm like, okay, let's fight Riven. And that was one E hit, a W, a Q, and a Tiamat active. And I can do that every few seconds. Remember that. Like I just like another. And she tries to fight me, and I'm like, okay, stash away. See, and now I know her ignite's down, so I'm much more confident to fight her. She hits me with her ult. Now here she's feeling very confident in her ability to kill me, so I'm just gonna sit here, and I do this, bang, bang, dead. A lot of things that I see Renektons do that I think is completely wrong is they don't remember that his dash ability does a good amount of damage. And on Renekton, I max dash second because I really like using it in fights and not have to worry about, you know, things like, okay, and here I'm being real cocky. Like, Shin thinks he's gonna taunt me on our tower, but he misses, and I'm like, okay, okay, all right. I'm like, so I'm trying to get him to come at me again. You know what I mean? And he's not, so he's playing passive. So I notice he shields. So I'm like, okay, I'll just wait. I'll just wait. I let the minions get rid of the shield, and then I Q ult and then auto him and he dies. And here's Riven. I'm like, alright. And I have this little health and I am out damaging her this hard because of my ultimate and my items that I have on her. And she's trying to fight me. I'm like, oh. And then she's like, I'm like, here, okay, let's fight. And I get another kill. And this is 11 minutes in and I'm 8-2, friends. So I'm going to go back, and what do I buy? Well, I'm going to finish off Ravenous. Let's see how much gold I got in my pocket. Oh, I don't have much. So I think I buy a pot here. And, like, just compare Riven and I. Just compare us. Okay. I am 93 CS to her 40. I have a complete Ravenous and a Giant's belt. And 2 Doran's blades. And she has Warden's Mail, Vampiric Scepter, and a Doran's Blade and some boots. And she's not running Flash. And sure, she has a lot of dashes, but since she's not running Flash, I do believe she's actually a little less mobile than I am. And I believe on Riven, a lot of her plays require her to have Flash for her to do all these crazy plays. Which, so, I don't understand why she didn't take Flash here. Or the Shin. It's like they're trying to do some kind of like teleport strat, but whatever. It obviously didn't work. And so I'm just trying to get in here and make sure she can't get any free farm. I'm trying to make sure that every farm she gets, she works hard for. Now, I don't really know why I warded that bush. I was just, that was a bad ward. I should have totally warded in their jungle or ways that the Shin could have came and get me. And she can't, and that is the power of Renekton. I did all that damage to her. That was 3 moves. Alright, W, Q autoed her, and Tiamatted. So, I guess it was 4. But, and for all of that damage, and all those abilities, I took 1 turret shot because of my slice and dice. I just dashed out. See her teleport back. I don't want to be overly cocky again, even though I maybe could have been. I just leave. Because I believe at this point I actually have a pretty good amount of gold. Yeah, I have 800 gold at this point, and I'm like, you know what? You know what this Riven cannot deal with right now? Some armor. I also was not worried about Twisted Fate at this point because he's 0-2 and his items are like Chalice, Finished Codex, and 2 Doran's rings. So I'm not really worried about him. I'm just trying to pound this lane and get as much advantage on the Riven as I can, so that she can't just go pop in somebody else's lane and just kill them and get right back in the game. I know it's TF ults. And this is me looking. It's a bad habit I have. I'll accidentally stop moving and look at what's happening elsewhere. And I know something's going on down bot lane. I'm like, okay, time to teleport in. Boom, get a kill. Get a kill. Because I sliced him to kill him, I got the dice out of the turret range. Sure, the turret was going to die, but it's good practice to always know that if you can't, to dash out of turrets, you know what I mean? And look at all the damage the slice and dice did there. I'm like, oh, hello, Shin. And at this point, I knew he doesn't have flash. So I'm like, alright, let him taunt. And so I follow him. I knew he didn't have flash, so the minute he taunted, I knew it was a guaranteed kill for me to flash over and kill him. So we just take this turret. And I also noticed that there was a Caitlyn nearby and a Twisted Fate. So I'm like, okay. Oh, he hooks me in. I'm like, okay, thank you. I'm going on Twisted Fate because I know he has all the CC. So I'm like, okay, go in. Boom. Kill Twisted Fate. Okay. I'm going to keep going in. I'm going to get rid of turret aggro. Kill the Blitzcrank. I'm like, okay, time to go in. Time to go in. Get her. Bang. Get triple kill. Okay, I dash out turret range. Don't want to die. The turret here is taking plenty of turret damage for me. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna get this guy. Boom. All of that. Sure, I died, but I got a 4 for 1 there. I am now 14-3-1 at 16 minutes in, friends. Now I do concur that that's a good score. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's a fairly decent score. And Riven got a chance to take top lane and all that. But then Vigor's like, I'm gonna get you. I'm a Vigor. I am evil. But you know, he's like the least mobile champion in the entire freaking game. And he flashed for that. And there comes the Shin. So, you know, nothing to come of that. And he's trying to get out of here. And measly old Vigor's just running away, and then here comes the hero that is Warwick, chasing away the Shin. And and I do believe they noticed blue buffs up here. Yes, they do. Oh, that was a good stun, but that was a better taunt. Excuse me. Oh, now that he's gotten kind of low, the Warwick's going in. Okay, now back to Renekton. And I noticed that all this stuff's going on elsewhere. I'm like, well, shoot, I'll just take a turret, get my team even further ahead. I'll get them even further ahead. There we go. I'll try to clear this way. Oh, he hooks me in. I'm like, oh, alright. Thanks, Blitzcrank. I'll just ult, you know, focus the Riven first. She's the damage here. I might as well focus her first. But then I noticed that the Blitz is not a slouch. He pulls me in. I'm like, well, alright then. Thank you. Dash out. Dash in. Dash out. Dash in. Dash out. And I'm like, all right, well, this is pretty free. I was so confident at this point that if Shin followed me, that I could kill him. So I'm just like, whatever. I believe I have a lot of gold at this point. Yeah, I have 1,300 gold at this point, and I have 1318, and I already have my Spectre's Cowl because I'm gonna build Banshee's Veil because Banshee's Veil just wrecks their team. Taunt, hook. Riven doesn't really do much for Riven because she'll just do one of her Qs to break it. But I went top trying to gank somebody. It didn't work out, obviously. They had already died, I believe, which is just fate. So I'm like, okay, I'll go back and I'll buy some items. And 18 minutes in, I had Ravenous Hydra, Banshee's Veil, Sunfire Cape. How are they going to stop me? I also have the most CS in the entire game by a pretty significant margin. Now keep in mind, this is about a gold, plat, diamond elo because I'm actually doing with my friend in diamond. He's the Tarek. And yeah. So it wasn't like the MMR was incredibly low here either. Like, it was fine. It's kind of funny actually. After the game, Shin was telling me how it was because I was playing Renekton that this happened, and that I was trash. But you know, that's just League community for you. I'm like, ooh, a red buff. I see Twisted Fate here, and I get a stun on him, and he just gives up. He just gives up. I'm like, well, all right. But for my KD, I'm like, oh, I want this Blitzcrank. I want him bad. I'm like, but I can come over here and do some cleanup. And I'm like, what are you doing, girl? Trying to channel that right there. And I'm like, well, I'm gonna kill you too, bro. And I killed him too. And look how little dead damage that turret did to me. I'm like, okay, let's go get this Riven. But sadly, my team got some kills too. Sadly, I'm like, I want this red buff. And I didn't think for it. My team just gave it to me because they understood that I was the force on the team. Like, I was ready to rock them like a hurricane. Like, I have Banshee's Veil and Warwick pops that for me. Like, well, crap. And here, they forfeit. That, friends, is how you carry with Renekton.